Hello and happy 2017 from your daily mobile gaming sizzle. So what can we look forward to in 2017? Well, predictions are a difficult game, as everyone has found out in 2016. So we have to be very careful. I'm going to take a bit of a broader kind of view on some of the things that we probably know are going to happen, and some of the things we'll go into a few things that potentially may happen. But I guess the big thing that will be this year that everyone will be looking at is Nintendo's first proper free-to-play games. Nintendo was something that kind of came up on the trends for 2016, partly with Pokemon Go, which was really nothing to do with Nintendo, and then obviously for Super Mario Run, which we are now still arguing about whether sub 4% conversion rate is good or bad. That's another video, isn't it? But we definitely know from Nintendo that they have two announced games at least coming out in 2017. So we have a Fire Emblem game that will be more traditional kind of RPG. That won't have the same cachet, obviously, as a Super Mario Run. Nothing will have the same cachet as Super Mario Run, apart from maybe Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing, I guess, is the more interesting of the two in terms of how wide the appeal can become, and how Nintendo decides to run monetization in a game that has kind of strong appeal for Nintendo fan base, could skew quite young for kind of audience, and that'll be the really interesting one to look at. Fire Emblem will be interesting in a way, but I think that'll be more traditional. Kind of this is how we monetize free-to-play RPGs. DNA, the company who are doing the free-to-play monetization for Nintendo, know all about that kind of stuff. So I imagine that'll be fairly straightforward. So big one to look at is Nintendo. What else can we look forward to for the year? So my kind of offbeat company to look out for to see what happens to is Zynga. So Zynga, well known from the days of Facebook gaming. It's bumping its transition across to mobile games. The majority of its revenue has been mobile for a while, actually. And it had an interesting 2016 in terms of like kind of losing CEOs and losing money, and finally launching the two games from Natural Motion. So it launched CSR Racing 2 and Dawn of Titans. Dawn of Titans quite late in the year, so mid-December it came out. It seems to be doing okay at the moment, but hard to tell if it will sustain. Also hard to tell. Another kind of point of argument is whether the $227 million that Zynga paid for Natural Motion has actually will be worth it. I mean, we'll know that in 2017 when we see their financials really. But I think it's a big year for Zynga. They have to decide what they're going to do, what the company's about. The bit of the company that's doing really well is Social Casino. So you've got a good chance. I've always argued that the company's better off splitting, or at least getting rid of everything that's not Social Casino, and creating a separate company that is Social Casino, which may be called Zynga, and then maybe getting rid of the other stuff. Still got a lot of cash, so it has the opportunities to do something. It has to do something that it can't just bumble along, pretending that Dawn of Titans is going to save it. So that's one to look out for. Another one, my kind of perennial favourites of companies to look out for is Glu Mobile. So again, another company that's been kind of bumbling along for a while, just changed CEO right at the end of the year, and put out three big celebrity games during the year. Well, Katy Perry Pop was actually right at the end of 2015, and that's been canned now. Put out a Kendall and Kylie game, so that's a Kardashian one that did okay. It put out a Britney Spears game, that's tanked, and right at the end of the year it put out the Nicki Minaj, the Empire game, that's looking like it's tanked as well. So Glu Mobile, generally 2016 was a pretty awful year for it. 2017, something again has to happen. It's slightly on a similar level to Zynga, really. You can't just keep bumbling along forever. I mean, it has much less cash than Zynga. It's a much smaller company by kind of market cap, by 10 times smaller. But something has to happen there, really. Its big hope has a Taylor Swift game coming out. But given the fact that most of its celebrity games have kind of tanked, it's hard to see that Taylor Swift game is going to do any better, really, even though Taylor Swift is probably the biggest celebrity it would have done a deal with. Certainly in terms of social reach, which Glu is always banging on about. So those are some companies to look out for. In terms of kind of games coming out, so there's a few things that are in soft launch that will be coming out. So the one I really like at the moment in soft launch is Zombie Gunship Survival. So that's a free-to-play version of Zombie Gunship. Really good. Not sure when that one's coming out, but I think it could do quite well. So it seems like it's good gameplay and it's got good meta game. So not that makes a game a hit. Obviously, it has to kind of find an audience and be well serviced and have good live events and kind of retain its players. But I think that I have a good feeling about that. Another kind of big one, again, it's kind of out there and it's been out on PC, so we could say it's kind of out a little bit, is the Elder Scrolls Legends. So that's a CCG, a card battler. I'm not a big fan of card battlers, but I've enjoyed the tutorial, which did take me about an hour to do. So a kind of a Hearthstone type game, appealing to that kind of hardcore CCG kind of fan base who are currently probably already playing Hearthstone. But I really liked it. I've not really played a lot of Hearthstone, so maybe it's doing the same thing. But I kind of think that one will be it won't be a massive game, but in the same way that Hearthstone does really well on mobile and over time has done more revenue on mobile than PC. I think we'll maybe see the same thing with Elder Scrolls.